Imagine this, a dusty sunbeam threading through banana trees, the scent of lemongrass floating up from a kitchen window, a yard stitched with paw prints, feathers, and laughter.
And tucked beneath the woven eaves, a basket, a hammock, a chicken or two, and a sleepy tabby cat sprawled out like he owns the whole afternoon.
Sounds like the kind of place where naps are sacred and nobody questions who belongs where.
In the villages of Luzon, pets weren't owned. They were welcomed. Cats came and went like the wind, never called, never kept, but always honored.
We called them spirit guests. Espiritu Baisida. You left a little food by the steps, a little water under the guava tree, and if you were lucky, a cat chose to stay a while.
I can just see it. The creak of a hammock, a bowl of rice cooling on the porch, and a cat slipping through the doorway like a whisper.
And every neighbor doing their part. One offering scraps, another offering shade, another a soft blanket by the fire.
Kindness wasn't owned either. It was stitched from house to house, like a quilt of small, steady love.
Some cats stayed for a season, some just for a sunset, but all of them left paw prints deeper than the dust on the steps.
They weren't just visitors. They were blessings, wrapped in fur and sunlight.
And somehow, the spaces they filled felt fuller, even when they wandered on.
You could almost hear it. The slow beat of paws against bamboo floors. The sigh of chickens shifting in the grass. The hush of a world that understood how to love without leashes.
It's a kind of love you don't hold on to. You just open your door and your heart.
Freedom was the greatest gift, and trust was the greatest return.
And maybe in that open space, we find the true meaning of home.
The cats taught us to listen, not with our ears, but with our hearts.
Maybe all it takes is leaving a little space at the door.
And speaking of open-hearted welcomes, next stop, Morocco's magical souks, where market cats rule the streets with velvet paws and ancient charm.
Trust me, you're going to want a front row seat for this parade of paws.
All right, picture this. A street where the air smells like spices and sunlight, where the walls glow terracotta and gold, and every corner hums with soft oud music and a ripple of friendly chatter.
And under every table, tucked into every rug shop and bakery, a pair of curious eyes, a flick of a tail, a guardian with whiskers.
I can almost hear the soft tap-tap of paws on cobblestones, like tiny heartbeats stitched into the rhythm of the souk.
My dad always said, the cats of the market are smarter than the merchants. And after a few walks through Marrakech, I believed him.
Smarter and definitely better dressed. All that effortless fur coat glam.
They didn't beg. They belonged. Everyone knew which cat liked sardines, who ruled the leather district, and which queen napped by the almonds.
And let me guess, your dad had a favorite.
He carried extra flatbread, not for himself, but for whichever feline claimed us that day.
That's real travel magic. Not just the sights, the companions.
I'll never forget a vendor moving his whole fruit cart, just so a mother cat and her kittens could nap in the shade. No fuss, no fanfare, just respect.
In Morocco, cats aren't caged. They're trusted, fed, protected by 100 gentle hands.
Water bowls outside shops. Leftover couscous at calf doors. A nap spot tucked between spice sacks.
They're guardians, observers, little living threads tying the community together.
And not a single adoption forum in sight.
Just open doors, and even more open hearts.
She always sat in the same place, by the almond baskets. Even when the cart moved, she'd find her way back.
There's a kind of memory in places like that. A knowing, a belonging.
What would the world look like if we saw every stray not as lost, but simply at home somewhere else?
Some of my greatest memories aren't of the things we bought, but of the lives we walked beside.
And sometimes, the quietest friendships teach the loudest lessons.
And it turns out, kindness doesn't need contracts or cages, just a little space.